now to introduce distinguished alumnus Raymond Pritchard, former Parker County Sheriff and a member of the Weatherford College class of 1983, Mr. Ben Whiteman.
Thank you, Brent. Raymond asked me to make my speech short because he didn't figure he had enough time at 5 to 7 minutes. So I won't talk as long so he can talk longer. I would like, and there's not going to be too many of them here, anybody who is 60 years old or younger, please raise your hand. Oh, that's a few. And some, I know some of you ladies that raise your hand are not 60 years or younger, but that's okay. That's how long I've known Raymond, over 60 years. I moved from the big city of Fort Worth to Aledo in 1960 something. It was third grade, in the middle of the third grade, and when I walked into the classroom, the teacher was Bob Glenn's sister-in-law. So, and the kids were all lined up this way, except for this line of boys across the back who were the toughies in school. Raymond wasn't one of those. He was over here. No, here he was in that group too. But that's how long ago that I met Raymond Pritchard. And also that same year, or same day, after lunch, I got to meet the principal because of one of the classmates who helped me out, and that was Joe Tyson. So that's how long I've known him too. But anyway, Raymond and I have been through a lot together through the years. I was living in Houston at the time when my mother called and said he'd been shot. He was dove hunting. It wasn't from his law enforcement years. I think Dan Carney was there at the time too when that happened. But anyway, Raymond is a member of a multi-generational Parker County family. They've been here a lot of years, just like him. He's a graduate of Aledo High and then attended Weatherford College after that, earning an associate degree in arts, and one of those degrees that says you're lucky you graduated on the bottom of it. But anyway, he did get out. He's married. He has 3 kids and 3 grown kids and 8 grandchildren. Still just 8, right? Yes. Okay. He hired on with the Weatherford Police Department before he was old enough to even buy bullets for the gun that he was going to carry. So they made him walk the meters around the square where he met a lot of people. But he did that. He then went to academy and worked in patrol, became a detective, promoted to sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and deputy chief, even served a 6-month as interim police chief at one time from January 89 to July of 89. When he retired from the police department, he went to work for the county as transporting juveniles for juvenile probation office, then as a court bailiff in District Judge Quisenberry's office, or court. And then he worked part-time back at the city again in code enforcement. And then he realized retirement wasn't as bad as he thought originally, and he retired again. So he spent many years on many boards. He was on the Parker County Committee on Aging, serving as president for at least 1 and maybe 2 terms. He was the local coordinator for the Salvation Army, working for the Red Kettle at the Walmarts. He is a member of the AIDS Resource of Rural Texas and Parker County Transportation Advisory Board, plus a lot more that I don't even remember. He seemed he was always at a meeting for something. He was always at the police department encouraging the officers, me included, to go to Weatherford College and get an associate's degree and then carry on farther. He pushed me. He and several of the officers were going to Tarleton to get a vast degree in criminal justice. So Raymond and Tim Galbraith, the municipal court judge at this time, and I and Mark Jackson, who retired from adult probation with the feds, we rode down there 2 nights a week to Charlton to get our bachelor's degree. It was a interesting drive down there and back, to say the least. For the 1 year that we went, he and Tim graduated, and then Mark and I went another year. But he was always pushing. He worked at Weatherford College, guest speaking at the criminal justice courses. He worked for the security at the Weatherford ISD original all-night party for raising money for graduation. That was when they were up here at Weatherford College right at the start, and then they moved on. So he was always involved with Weatherford College doing something. And he still talks about it. I still hear him talk about his time at Weatherford College and the fights, and the times he enjoyed here at Weatherford College when he was younger. But anyway, Raymond Pritchard.
Thanks, Ben. I think you embellished that somewhat, though. I want to thank the Weatherford College and the Alumni Association for allowing me to be here today. About a month ago, I got a call from Brent Baker, who said I had been selected for this award. And for that, I was greatly honored. But to say that I was surprised would be an understatement. And I was totally lost for words to express myself that afternoon. But as the days went by, I started thinking back to the days that I was here at the college. And so at spring break, I come onto the campus and looked around to see what I could remember and also see the new buildings. And there's been a lot of changes. A lot of new structures have gone up, dorms, ballparks, in this building. And as I sat there and looked at it, I thought, man, that's a wonderful building for the college, something to be proud of. And then I started thinking back to 1970, which was the year I graduated at Lido in a class of 35, which at that time was the largest in their history. And Lido at that time had a population of 440 people. The county had 33,500, and Weatherford had 12,000. And as you go down South Main, the city limit stopped about 30 yards past Brahms, where an old Shell station used to be located. On the hill was a church where the racetrack is, and across the road was the old McFarland house, about where Orslins is. And from there to the interstate, it was just undeveloped land. And of course, College Park was still a distant dream. And when you went down Santa Fe, it was still a county winding narrow road that of course had Hollins Lake and Campbell Hospital, which was getting near completion. The interstate in Parker County just opened in the spring of '70, and gas was up to 37 cents. And the first day I come onto the college, I come by the gym to see a few tennis courts off to the right. You can see the student union building, the library, and a few buildings scattered on top of the hill, and of course the library, or the administration building. They gave us a tour that morning of the downstairs and told us it was the room that they was going to use for their computer. And inside it was wall to wall with large machines. It was connected with cables and electrical cars and blinking lights. And it was the old key punch system. And they said that part of their function would be for the instructors to be able to grade their true and false and multiple choice tests. And then it was off to the gym where we had our freshman orientation And after the speakers, there was a gentleman got up and sang a Marty Robbins song, "Lord, this time you have given me a mountain." And I swear, after my first biology lab practical, I'm pretty sure he sang that song for me. But after that rough start, I got to know my instructors somewhat better. Miss Irby, Miss Chappell, Mr. Bull, Miss Sanders, Mr. and Miss Alexander, and of course, Bill Cody and Max Rathel, who become lifelong friends. When class was over each day, I left the campus to go to work. But between classes, like a lot of other students, I went to the sub to visit and to play a quick game of spades. And it was in the sub that I began to make friends from different parts of the county. Some went on to other colleges to finish their degree, and some went on back to their communities where they was engaging in whatever work that they wanted. But as time went by, this group began some upward mobility in their jobs. So whenever I was in need of information or help or just wanted to visit, I could always rely on this group of friends to be there and offer whatever suggestions that they could. And whatever little success I may have accomplished in my career, it is due in a large part to this group of friends. But when I think back to Weatherford College, it's not of the good times, the sporting events, or the after-hour activities, but it's of the instructors I had while I was here and the friends that I met here. It is this group of people that helped me lay a foundation that was strong enough to support me throughout my career. And I was blessed to attend Weatherford College in 1970, and I'll always be thankful. In the past 50 years, 52 or 3 years, the college has moved from South Main to the present campus. We see dorms, new structures that have gone up, ball fields, seen new career paths, and pathways for bachelor's degrees, only to name a few. So in closing, I just have to wonder, what will Weatherford College offer, and what will this campus look like in another 50 years? Thank you.